Okay, from the title, you can see we're discussing something here. A lady had told me, don't forget to subscribe. She told me to tell you, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and to make your comments down below. But she would like to pursue acting. She did acting when she was in school, through high school and into her junior college years. She went on to college, got her bachelor's, I think maybe her master's, but the problem was she didn't have the time to really devote. If she wasn't going to be a theater major, she probably didn't have much time with her studies to do much acting at that point of her education. She That always happens when you reach for your coffee. You do it, light up your. But she did that. She did acting. When she did acting, she was a young woman, and she was not overweight, or as this will say, fat. She was not fat. I started acting, and I was already fat, and it kind of was different for me because I lost weight instead of gaining weight. So it kind of changed the kind of roles that I would be able to get, I guess. And with her, she acted when she was slender or height weight proportionate, HWP. You'll see that a lot in the acting industry. Make sure you're HWP. That means that your height and your weight are squared away and are okay for acting, for the role. If they want someone to just be a standard person, maybe it's 1978 and you're going to be in line at McDonald's. Well, we didn't have people. I worked at McDonald's in 1978. We didn't really have people coming in that were 125 pounds overweight. Now, if you go to a McDonald's, probably any McDonald's, and if it's happening in California, I'm sure it's happening almost everywhere, you'll find someone's 100, 125 pounds overweight. This happens. A lot of heavy people. But she wanted to do some acting. I told her, good job. She asked me about getting acting. How do I do it? What do I do? I made a few videos back that way. If you go back over the old shoulder, you'll see a couple of playlists on casting. Some of me acting with animals. Some of me doing acting as dressed up as George Washington. Everything from modeling to acting to I was on Jimmy Kimmel's show when I was naked on Jimmy Kimmel. There's some music videos I was in. I played Danny DeVito on the 100 Gex video. If you want to go back that way, you can see it, or just right now on your YouTube, 100 Gex Doritos and Fritos, you'll see me being Danny DeVito. But she is very weight sensitive to her weight. So is her, I guess it's her cousin. The two of them both wanted to do this, and they both do live in this area. I don't know them personally, but I think they said they lived in the Montebello area, which is pretty close to here, and they would like to pursue this. But they're very sensitive about their weight. And I said, well, now remember, if you are very sensitive about your weight, there's a good chance it's going to be discussed. You can use it to your advantage if they're looking for guys like me, like overweight men that aren't too big but not too small. I can put in for those. She said, well, are they going to, are the roles going to make fun of me? Well, roles don't really make fun of each other, of us. Maybe if you're eating a hamburger roll or hamburger bun, it might say, hey, you don't eat me, you big slob. I don't know. But she was concerned by the fact that the roles that she sees for people in her situation, a lot of times they're comedies. And I said, okay, remember, if you're in a comedy and it's looking for a heavy set woman, a plus size woman, a fat woman, a big boned beauty, whatever, they're going to make fun of you 100% of the time. That's what you're there for. If it's a comedy and they're looking for fat people, it's to be made fun of 100% of the time. They can make fun. Now, to avoid that, you could be in a medical, they call them teaching videos or whatever. They don't pay as much, but some of them do pay pretty well. I did one that was $2,000 for 4 hours of work. That was good. So you can do that. There might be one about, knee pain for carrying extra weight. Maybe there's one about heart conditions for heavy people, diabetes, sleep apnea. Some of the things that fat, heavy, big, large people get. And they're not going to make fun of you on that. But if it's a comedy, yeah, it's going to be you, and they're going to make fun of you. If they want you to appear in a bathing suit at a swimming pool with a bunch of people, and you're very overweight, you're in a bathing suit, and you're there to be laughed at, Yeah. If you ever go to an audition, let's say you're a female, because she's a female, and you personally are 110 pounds overweight, and you enter the casting area, the waiting room that you sign in, and you bring your headshot with your resume glued to the back, whatever. They don't do as much of that in person anymore, but if you see everybody else is skinny, let's say they're size 00, size 0, size 2, and you're a size 28 or something, or maybe bigger, you think, well, that's weird. All these, and then me. Oh, you'll know. Okay, they want a bunch of pretty women that are in great shape, good shape, model shape, and then they want you. No, not saying you're ugly. Not saying that you're the fattest person in the world, but they are going to do that if it's a comedy to make fun of you. If it's a background work, if it's only background, they're doing a scene, let's say they're doing a movie scene, and they got the movie screen, like I'm sitting right here and I'm looking this way, and I'm looking, have you react, they'll tell you, okay, when we shine the light, you all, like it's a scary movie, and we hear a noise, and we're watching intently like this, and eating popcorn. You may be just a person in the audience, and it doesn't matter. They can scan across the audience a number of times. They might have multiple cameras. They could have, a steady cam, the guy's holding the camera, or the female's holding the camera. It could be one or two cameras this way. Maybe there's a crane shot, the camera's above you, and you're all watching this scene. Or maybe you're all at a movie gallery, or like an art gallery, and you're all looking at art. But that's just background. But if you're gonna have a line or two or something, it goes with background at the start, then it goes featured background, and then you get into some of the the day player support roles, and then you get further up the chain to maybe be the lead. But if it's a comedy and you're overweight and you're sensitive, they're going to be making fun of you. They're not, the people at the thing aren't gonna, you're not gonna pull up like, oh my god, hide the chocolate chip cookies, here comes fatty. No. They're not gonna have a separate line to the bathroom because fatty 2x4 couldn't get through the bathroom door, so she or he did it on the floor. They're not gonna have that. The people there might be very nice to you. Behind your back, they might say, wow, did you see how fat that lady was? That could happen. But if you're in a serious role, maybe you're playing the lead actor's favorite Sunday school teacher, and you just happen to be fat. Maybe you are, there's a scene where the firefighters every day go in the afternoon, they're not on a fire, of course, and get coffee at a bakery, and they love to have the gingerbread cake with melted butter served by a fat woman. That could happen. They might come in and go, hey, Mabel, how are you today? Doing fine. Oh, you know what we want? Some of this great gingerbread with butter, melted butter. We sure do, and coffee. Do you take cream with your coffee? And they have that kind of a dialogue. That could happen. And they wouldn't necessarily be making fun of you that much. But you are the one. Sometimes you're a big target. One time, I get an upgrade because we were filming at the University of Southern California. Yeah, so we would say it stands for You Spoiled the Children. Now, it's not a nice neighborhood. It's really kind of dangerous down there. But where we were filming was supposed to be a different college. And the lead was going to go through and turn around. Oh, I forgot something. Run back and get something from his car. And have a little bit of dialogue with somebody. Like, did you forget something? Oh, yeah, I forgot my briefcase. And he gets his briefcase and runs by. Just a little talking like that. So they had a sign that said USC student parking, and they couldn't take down the signs. They weren't allowed to take down the signs, so they had me, because I had a bit of size to me at the time, which I still have, but I had more back then. I was a better sign cover. They wanted me to cover the sign, and they gave me $150 extra, a little slight upgrade, to stand out there and cover that sign. So I had my regular work with the regular, I was background on that one, just regular background stuff, doing some crossings. That's where you cross the scene, or maybe I'll be sitting there like this on the patio at the student union, drinking some coffee, and kind of looking around and just someone walking by. That guy's, there's no extra money for that, but I got to cover the sign, and she gave me an extra $150. Were they being mean to me? No, they'd be nice to me. My butt was big enough to cover the sign. My butt was probably big enough to cover the football stadium at the Coliseum. But they're going to make fun of you. The screen, the script, if you get the script, and they're looking for a fat person, whatever way they call it, plus size, larger woman, person, of this or whatever, they're gonna make fun of you. So if you are really sensitive, you're gonna be very limited if you're not gonna take those roles. When I played Danny DeVito, why did they give that to me? Because they said I looked like Danny DeVito. If I said, I'm very sensitive, all my adult life, people say, you look like Danny DeVito. Okay, they say, you look like John Candy. Okay, I was on that video. I was on the video with Logic, the singer Logic, and I played a seedy, creepy dude. Why? Because I look like a seedy, creepy dude. That shows my range. Because I'm not. Am I? I don't know. I'm not really creepy. Am I CD creepy? I don't know. CD creepy. Creepy CD. I don't know. But I was able to do those roles because I have range. I usually don't play the really bad guy or a criminal. I'm usually the happy uncle that, he gets off the airplane and his sister and her kids are waiting for him, and they run up to him and hug him, and he hands them all here's a teddy bear for Johnny and a Barbie doll for Susie. That kind of stuff. I play those kind of roles. I play the guy selling churros. I play the guy selling Pepsis. I play the news vendor. I get that. I've done that one quite a few times. I've also played the fruit vendor. I was even the hot nut vendor. And I also carried the Coca-Colas. I think they're Pepsi. I think they're Pepsis in the stands, of a production. So I get that. Yeah, but you have to read it and understand it's not always the same thing. When you look at a lot of the roles for acting that are for military, 25 and younger. If you do a 20-year career and retire, did you join at 5 or did you join at 20? Maybe you should be 45. You can't just have everybody be the same age. Not all the models are going to be the same size. Some models have beautiful faces and they do cosmetics, makeup. Maybe they're doing hats, sunglasses. The really tall ones, you can't be a model. You're not tall enough. Women, you got to be at least 5'11". Well, that's more runway stuff. How does the clothes look on the model? So if you're modeling for certain clothes, maybe you need to be a little taller or whatever. But if they're looking for a fat person and it's a comedy, most likely they're gonna make fun of you. There are some for clothing. They may need women that look good. There's some, I'm not gonna say any names. There's something like Lane Bryant and those kind of things. I will say some names. But anyway, they have a plus size. Some of them are all plus size stores. Some are stores that have a regular line, and then they have their whatever they call them, the big beauty line or whatever. And those are gonna be some fat girls, some heavy girls, some overweight women, girls, women, whatever. Now with the trans thing and I'm a this or I'm a that, I don't know. I really don't know that much. But I do know that she wants to do this stuff. And I said, people tell her she's really funny. A lot of people tell you you're really funny, but when you go into a comedy, everybody should be really funny, right? A lot of people, you have a great face for radio, which is usually a compliment. That means you have a good voice and well-sounding voice. Maybe a real deep voice for a man, a real beautiful voice for a woman. Maybe you have a kind of a smoky-sounding voice, or whatever they're looking for. But if it's a comedy, you're playing a fat person, yeah. But look at some of those roles. Some of those big roles, like Chris Farley, John Candy, John Belushi. All those guys were plus-size guys, and a lot of them would make roles or make acting, television, film, television, commercials because they're fat. Now, it could be clothing, it could be medical conditions, or it could be a general background thing where they need, some slender, some regular, and some heavy. They need some maybe in a real personal wheelchair. Some you'll read that want someone that has an amputation, missing a leg, missing an arm. Sometimes someone that's blind. A lot of it, you would think that they don't necessarily have to do someone that they're deaf or whatever, but maybe they want someone that speaks really great American Sign Language. But if you're fat and you're an actor or actress and you're sensitive, and you want to avoid those roles, the roles that you're probably going to get offered will either be nondescript background, just I need 300 people to fill a baseball stadium, I need 20 people to be in line at DMV, I need 18 people to be at the park where people are throwing the frisbee and other people are jumping rope and riding bikes. I need that kind of thing. I need some a heavy lady to sit there and she's tossing peanuts to the squirrels, that kind of thing. But if it's a comedy and you're overweight and you're female, in this case female, and you're sensitive, there's no way in the world they're not putting you there to be fat. And it's not even really to be comic relief, because if it's a comedy, it's all comedy. If it's a serious show, they might say something like, "Oh, someone stole my lunch." You know, the guys in the break room, and he opens his river. "Oh, someone stole my lunch." Well, you know, it's probably that David guy. He's so fat, you know. Like, "Hey, I didn't do it," you know, or something like that. They may put like a little comic relief in a more serious show, just to try to keep it moving. They may not have a whole lot right there, so they get tossed in a few zingers, I guess. But I just want to let her know, and you out there too, if you're fat and you apply to work in a comedy, you're gonna get made fun of. So if you're okay with it, go get the money. There was a role the other day that they wanted the guy to be 55 years old, and I submitted to a casting agency, and I know them very well. They're not gonna lie to me. Then they sent my photos and everything to the production. I don't know who received it at that level. Whoever was casting, they were setting up those 3 or 4 different scenes that this character was in, and they said, "I think he looks too young." Me, 55. I'm 63. So that's a nice thing to hear, but it's really sad when you want the role. You know, oh, that's very nice and very kind, but I am 63. And she said, let's see if the producer might want to go a little younger. And he said, yeah, what is he, about 50, 55? Between 50 and 55. They think my age range, usually it's like a 5-year, 10-year age range. But they said my age range was probably 43 to 53 kind of thing, you know, which is nice to hear. But I don't think I can play 43. But if they say I can, they pick me for it. I'm not going to say, "Oh, no, well, I'm well over that. I will not do that role." But it's a visual art. It's a visual art. And if they want to laugh at the one lady, they had one, and I can say the right word. They made the noise like this. And they all went, "Ooh," and they turned around and looked at the fat woman. Do they more than a skinny person? I don't know. But the joke was, since she was fat, probably constantly digesting food and ate a lot of food, maybe ate some chili or a pizza, she had to pass gas. Is that the proper way to say it? She had to flatulate. She flatulated. She's a flatulator. I don't know, but yeah. So that, if you don't want to be known as a fat woman who ate too much tamales and rips one, I don't know what to tell you. So if you can be in a comedy and you're fat, they can make fun of you. Okay, take care, everyone. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, comment. You know, she asked me, what could you do? I said, well, you could not put in for those roles, one thing. Number two, if you could talk to your doctor, get on some kind of workout plan, diet plan, whatever, and lose weight. It's probably better for health anyhow. Like I say, when I was very, very fat, I was the fat man. Now when I put in for these acting roles, I am a fat man. See the difference? I wasn't the fattest, the one fat guy. A few guys could afford to lose a few pounds. Ooh, there's David, and like that. No, so now I'm not the fat guy. I'm a fat guy. I'm heavy, big boned beauty or whatever. But I'm okay with fat. If they say, "David, we're looking for a fat guy, you want to put," I would love to put in for that role. And are they gonna make fun of me? Yeah, okay. But when I cash a check, it's all the same. So just be aware that if you're sensitive, don't make yourself sad, you know. And if you're embarrassed, if your mom says, "Oh, my daughter Susan's gonna be on this television show," and then I'll turn around and it's like, "Ooh, Susan ripped one." Well, it's probably because she ate 3 buckets of fried chicken and 19 tamales and then a bowl of chili. Did she eat those things? No. Was it necessarily her that did that? No. In the show, is it to be funny? Did she do it in the show? Maybe it was the skinniest little one did it, and they blame it on the big one. You know, I don't know. You know, which kitty made poo-poo on the floor? You know, which kitty took the toilet paper like this? It may not be the kitty you thought it was. But it's funny to say that the big old cat did it when it's usually the little kitten that did it. So that's what I'm saying. Don't stress yourself. Remember, this is from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. Not only is our physical health, our well-being, our weight loss, our battle with whatever it might be. For me, a lot of it's diabetes, but also my toe situation going on, little sleep apnea, different things. Right now I got a little cold in my big nose. Yeah, they make for big noses too. But if you're a woman and you're overweight and you're doing anything other than maybe a clothing line for a heavy set women, if they want you to be in a bathing suit and it's a comedy, I think, you know, they do some also. They did one with a lady, and she was going to the bathroom and she got stuck into the toilet seat. Now, if you're really, really fat, you're probably hanging over the sides of the toilet seat. Most of us sit, and the hole of the toilet seat's here. We sit on it, and then we do our business. But for some reason, it's funny for a fat lady to get stuck on the toilet. It's maybe a skinny person who gets stuck on the toilet because a heavyset one would be too big. I don't know, but you know, it's Hollywood. It's fake. It's all about entertainment. Is it nice to do that? Probably not. You know, it probably is not nice. You don't do it that much with people of a certain color or whatever. You know, or some handicap. You can't say handicap for those that are disabled, but you can do it for fat people. It's okay to make fun of white people and fat people. And I was a white person and a fat person, and they did. Boy, did they ever make fun of me. Take care. Have a good day.